When I think back, 2003, after SARS, we got together, people in the industry, including many people that are sitting around here. We tried to start up a joint effort to try to promote to the community how important IT was and still is. And then I still remember we were thinking about the name, and I was responsible for coming up with the name IT Matters, because at that time, if you remember, there was a book published by Harvard Business School called Does IT Matter? Actually, that book was claiming that all these people spending so much money on IT didn't really get its money's worth and so on. So at that time, I thought actually we should come out and set the record straight. And of course, try to convince people and the community and the businesses that IT does matter. And so we came up with IT Matters for Hong Kong. And then when I look at the subtitle today, ICT strategically matters for Hong Kong. So there were two changes. First of all, it's not just IT anymore. Now we call ourselves ICT, which is fine. We always consider the telecommunications industry part of us anyway, just make it more clear. Now the second part of it, strategically, that's the part that I want to talk about. First of all, strategic. What does that mean? First, it's beyond just simple execution. Second, it is about forward-looking, future-looking stuff. Which brings me back to the original premise when we first started to think about IT Matters, the group effort. It is about aligning our sectoral interest with the interest of the whole community. Because this is the only way that we can convince not just our government, but the whole population to be behind us when we're trying to say IT, the industry, should be a focus or a pillar industry. If the people who are not in the IT business are not behind us, we're not going to get the government support. So with that, I want to talk about, starting with some words about e-government. And in fact, just a couple of days ago, one of the organizations that I was involved with, called the Professional Commons, we actually put out a research paper called E-Government and Better Governance in Hong Kong. And I want to talk to you, I want to mention two of the basic principles of our recommendation. The basic principle first. Number one, enabling wider ICT application and better e-connectivity to improve service provision of the government to enhance the quality of governance in general. So this is really about not just our industry, it is about making governance better, making the quality of life better for our citizens. And second, encouraging a new wave of ICT development to make Hong Kong a genuine world city with a vibrant digital city life. Again, it's about the people. So the four focus areas that I want to talk about with the rest of 5 minutes. Number one, e-government. We have been proposing, actually in our research paper, and actually not just with this paper, actually for the last couple of years, including our previous submission to the policy address of the Chief Executive, we believe that the government should set up a e-citizen account. And in fact, in recent months, we have heard that the government is actually really looking into that direction. And we believe also that the government should set up a My Government portal, personalized portal, so every citizen can choose their own services and information they want to receive from the government, and centralize everything within this framework. And second, we believe that the government should further use the e-government facilities to encourage e-engagement. What does that mean? That means allowing citizens to proactively provide comments, opinions to the government, policy discussions, and also even making complaints and petitions to our senior officials. We believe that, with we meaning our organization, Professional Commons, when we put together this paper, we believe that this is a very important part to make all our citizens enjoy the benefits that can be brought to us by the use of IT. Now, I want to go from e-government to a couple of the other areas of citizen services that have been benefiting from the use of IT. First, healthcare. We've just finished our healthcare consultation a couple of days ago, and if you have read that particular consultation paper, I would say that this is the first time that I have seen a IT project being a central part of a government consultation of a major policy, being the healthcare reform. You will see a whole chapter on electronic health record. What does that mean? The government really believes that this is central to the policy. It's not an IT project, it is a project for the whole community. And This year, also, the government has allocated $780 million for the development of the clinical management system, version 3. So that's significant opportunity in future, not just for the hospital authority to have the money to develop, but also it will induce a lot of industry opportunities, I believe. Second, the intelligent transport system. We've been talking about it for quite some time. You know, people are saying that we don't have this GPS service, that GPS services in Hong Kong. Actually, Monday, I hope Monday afternoon you'll come back to HKPC, 5th floor, the open source center. They will be having a platform, discussion meeting on the platform for real-time transport, traffic information and dynamic vehicle navigation, talking about how the industry can participate in the future development of services in this area after the government is going to release the services, or the system that is the transport information system very soon. So these are opportunities that are for our industry, but at the same time, as you see, healthcare, transport, it has to do with daily lives of our citizens. So if they get the benefit, they will back us up. That is the first thing that I want to talk about. And then, yes, we will have to try to get more of these kinds of public services that will benefit from the use of IT, and then put them into government policy. And then, again, benefit the citizens and benefit our industry. Second, security. For example, when we talk about the My Government portal and the e-citizen record account and so on, this is actually a centralized management framework. And if we do that, actually, some people might think, okay, is security going to be a problem? People talk about security and loss of data privacy, a lot these days. And in fact, this is going to be making the management even easier and better. Right now, actually, most of the problems that we've seen in terms of our security and data privacy issues and so on, most of it really is not just about technology. It's really about policy guidelines, and sometimes actually what I'm saying is the policy guidelines and the technology implementations, including auditing, are mostly in place. But the problem is the execution sometimes, and also most of the times the corporate culture, the lack of corporate culture. So what we need to do is a lot of effort going to have to be spent on education and communications. And these are the areas that we really have to focus on. You know, when I look at some of the recent reports about Hong Kong, a couple of weeks ago, McAfee said that Hong Kong, the .hk domain is the most dangerous in the world, and then MessageLab, a couple of days later, came out with a report saying 85% of our emails are spams. What worries me most is not that we were ranked so poorly, but the thing that really worries me is that we don't have enough data to substantiate whether or not we are that bad. If we look into our defense mechanism against all these reports, we really don't have a good grasp of what our real situation is. For example, how many of the SMEs in Hong Kong have their website and they have been invaded and they are spreading spyware and we don't know about? What is the percentage? We have no idea. That is what our government should really put in more effort to try to do proactive network monitoring, surveying of our network infrastructure and our SME infrastructure, including security, to make sure that we know what we are doing, and not just looking at these reports from commercial vendors and then we try to defend ourselves or say, oh, it's actually very good, but we actually don't have enough data to back ourselves up.